Good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to make this a little personal. I believe in this awards because I work with all of you as partners in the community. And I was driven to this industry because when I was 10 years old, I had aplastic anemia and was treated here in Phoenix. We actually moved to Arizona because of that, because then they had no idea how to even treat that disease. And I had all my treatment here in Arizona. Well, that was a lot of years ago before I started to dye my hair gray. But I've worked with all of you here in the industry, and it actually led me to where I'm at today. And I was lucky enough back when I was going to college to work for a company that I still feel strong about and am employed with today, and that's Rural Metro Corporation, which owns Southwest Ambulance. And I just would like to real quickly mention Mike Odamino, who was good enough to show up today for this. He had another appointment and he changed it. He's the CEO of our national company. And my other management personnel that are here today, it's a real pride for me to work for Rural Metro Corporation. We're in 400 communities across the country, and that's what it's all about. As a first responder and a paramedic in my history, it really means a lot, and every one of you out there are partners, and I want to thank each and every one of you for what you do each day. Now I'd like to go ahead, and I have the honor of going right into the award today, and it's sort of special for me. Our first responder category will be quick but worthy. This year we have one exceptional nominee and therefore one exceptional winner. This is again personal. The person up for this award today is Roy Ryals, our Chief Operating Officer for the Southwest Zone of Rural Metro Corporation. Roy has helped write and helped contribute. Roy has helped write and helped to contribute to many pre-hospital care-related rules and pieces of legislation over the last 30 years. He is truly a regulatory expert and reference point. His knowledge and memory are impeccable. Roy he was in the original paramedic class many years ago. He's really not as old as that sounds, but he was in there. He's worked his way up in the industry. He was actually my boss when I first started with Rural Metro Corporation. And I can tell you personally that Roy has touched probably everybody in the industry throughout the state of Arizona with his willingness to go and speak passionately for what we do in our industry. And it's a real honor for me. And I want to thank the Business Journal for allowing us to have this award back. And one last thing before we bring him to the stage is I asked each and every one of you out there to think for next year of a pre-hospital personnel that you could nominate, because there's many out there that deserve to be involved. Please look at the screen.
And the winner is Roy Ryals.
I've been at Rural Metro and affiliated companies for about 30-some years. We like to run our organization really focused around people. We're the state's largest provider of pre-hospital ambulance service and pre-hospital emergency care. We have about 1,700 employees in Arizona, and on a daily basis we operate somewhere between 150 and 175 ambulances on the street. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 3 numbers, and we're going to be at your side in about 6.5 to 7 minutes on average. It's a daily challenge to do it better, faster, and cheaper, and I think that's an issue facing all healthcare providers. I think my biggest reward comes from seeing the passion that our people bring to the job. When they're out in the street taking care of patients one-on-one, there is just the burning passion of our employees to provide good quality care, as well as being sensitive to the social needs of the patient. And that's the most rewarding thing. That's the touch part of what we do, and that's frequently underrated in healthcare.
First, I want to thank my partner, my best friend, and my wife for a long time, Romina, sitting over here at the table. She's beautiful, thank you. Secondly, I want to thank the support that I've received for the last 25 plus years from Rural Metro and Southwest Ambulance, because without them allowing me to pursue legislative agendas and regulatory changes that in most instances have really nothing to do with the bottom line of the company, and sometimes in fact just the opposite. They allow me to do that because it was the right thing to do and it was good public policy and the state benefited from it. And without their support, no chance that I'd be standing here. So I want to thank Will Metro and Michael and the senior administrative staff. Thank you for coming today. When I started in this wonderful journey back in the late 1960s, if you needed help, you dialed 0 on your phone, mostly a rotary phone. The ambulance service was a byproduct or sort of a side business of the mortuaries. The fire department only came out if your house or your car was on fire. And medical evacuation choppers were something that we only saw on the 6 o'clock news in Vietnam. It was a time when people had a better chance of surviving a gunshot wound from the jungles of Cambodia than they did in downtown Phoenix or many other major metropolitan areas around the world. Contrast that to today. We have an enhanced 911 system that covers 99% of the population of the state of Arizona. We have emergency medical dispatchers, highly trained, that actually start providing care to the patient before the first responders even arrive. We've got highly trained EMTs, paramedics, critical care pre-hospital nurses arriving on ambulances, fire apparatus, and helicopters, triaging, treating, and transporting patients to categorized and verified receiving facilities that are best suited to treat their needs. The journey has been a consummate privilege, and like everyone else I think has spoken up here today, I've been humbled by the passion and the dedication of my peers and coworkers. So on all of the behalf of the hundreds of EMS professionals across Arizona, I accept the award. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Business Journal for having this wonderful event year after year. It so impressed us that we started becoming a sponsor of it, and it's much nicer to be standing here in a healthcare event rather than being honored at the annual Funeral Directors Association. Although I am told they have a killer after